Let me go to Eva's channel.
And then I think I have to mute. Yeah, I have to mute on YouTube.
You mean on like a phone or on?
If you're going to the YouTube stream, I think you have to just mute it on YouTube, like in the little box on the screen. Just click mute so that you don't
Okay,
have
let me see.
to mute on YouTube.
I have no idea how to do that.
Like put your mouse over the screen on YouTube. If you're going to the YouTube stream, I think you have to, and then click that little speaker button.
Okay,
YouTube,
hold on.
Like in the little box on the screen, just click mute so that you don't have to.
I told you I'm slow on technology now.
Oh, it's all right. Like put your mouse over the screen on YouTube. If you're going to the YouTube screen, I think you have to, and then click that little speaker button. You see it?
Nope.
Or I think you can just like turn your volume all the way down on whatever device you're on.
Yeah, let's do that. That's easy.
But whatever was echoing, I don't hear it now. So
yeah, I paused it. All right, we should be good.
Okay.
Bet. You got some folks in there already.
Yes. 51. Patricia. Hey, Susie. Jenny. Sunny. I was trying to figure out how to put a title on here, but I can never figure that out until the end. So I'll put that up there when we post it. Hey, June, Ann, C. Thomas. Hey, Cheryl. How's everybody doing tonight? I got them turkeys in the oven.
Now's the time.
Right.
Now's the time to get them going.
Now is definitely the time. And if you don't know how to cook a turkey, now's the time to Google it, right?
There you go. Google always works.
Always works. Okay, so for the people that are in here with me, so my camera is a little bit higher than my screen where I can see you. So I'll be looking at you. So if it looks strange, that's the reason why. So I have with me tonight, I'm so excited about this, Bow Tie Fragrance Guy. So we're gonna pop it up. We're gonna talk about everything from fragrances to fashion to everything in between.
That's right. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna talk about it all tonight.
We're gonna talk about it all. All right. So how many we got? 71. Okay. Oh, my son's in the house as well. What up, son? Okay, so Bow Tie Fragrance Guy. So how long have you actually been on YouTube?
I think about 3 years. I think it's been like 3 years now.
Oh, okay, so you're a veteran then.
Yeah, I think I started like maybe around August or so, 2016. So actually a little over 3 years is when I first like uploaded my first video.
Oh, wow. So YouTube was probably a lot more different then. I mean, even though it wasn't that long ago, right?
The community was a lot different.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, I know we both talk about fragrances, and I know the fragrance community was different. You know, it's funny, I hear people talk about the fragrance community back when it first started. I think it was around 2009, at least on the YouTube platform.
Right.
And of course, 2016, at that time, it was much different than it was in 2009 when they initially started. I mean, you talk about a small niche community. It was very small back during that time.
Oh, yeah.
But even when I kind of came into this in 2016, it was so different, so much different than it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much different.
It's different for the amount of time that I've been on here. I think I've been on here for a year and a half now, maybe. and
Yeah.
totally different. Like even the groups. Are you in any, what fragrance groups are you in?
I'm in a few fragrance swap groups, maybe 2 fragrance swap groups.
Yeah.
And also I think I'm in Mark's group and Max Forti's group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so maybe about 4. I think it's 2 swap groups and then those 2 groups.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I love the swap groups.
I do too. I'm addicted to swap. I haven't been trolling swap like I used to. I used to have a swap problem.
Oh, really?
I used to be laying in bed at night like this.
Oh, I think I still got that problem. I think
Every
I still have that problem.
Yeah, I love swap. You get the deals on swap, right?
I mean, you get it for the low. I
Right.
always tell folks get things at the best price, possible.
Absolutely.
What's the best price I can get this for? I mean, because I like niche fragrances. But I don't discriminate. I do designer fragrances as well,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah,
But again, what's the best price that I can get this for?
absolutely.
Is always my primary concern. So swap groups, I love you guys.
Right. Yeah. First and foremost, get them deals. Get them deals. So, how'd you actually get into fragrances? What was it that just sucked you in?
Well, I've always loved to smell good. I mean, when growing up, I could only use really what my dad had, which was usually Brute and and Old Spice,
Yeah.
you know. But I only had access to that. So of course, I didn't really have, money as a child.
Right.
But I've always liked to smell good. And then of course, once I started getting to the point where I had my own money and could afford to really go out and buy fragrances, which was
Mhm.
probably like junior, senior year of high school,
Oh yeah.
I started buying stuff. And of course, 1996, Acquadigio was probably what really, catapulted me into just someone that liked to smell good into being like a lover of fragrances.
Right.
So I think that fragrance, because it was so popular, and I mean at that time it was kind of uh, it changed the whole fragrance game to me.
Yeah.
When Acquadigio came out, and still to this day is the #1 selling men's fragrance of all time,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
for good reason. But yeah, that one kind of changed the game for me and really, got me deep into the hobby
Hmm.
of being a fragrance collector. But again, when you are in high school, you still don't have money like that. So it's not like you can go out and buy a lot of different fragrances, but
Right.
definitely the passion for it picked up at that time because I
Yeah.
actually have some funds to go and get a couple fragrances here and there.
Now, were you a Lagerfeld gentleman? Did you wear that?
No.
Really?
No, listen, so this is the crazy thing. So when I first got into it, it was about everything was like a citrus-based fragrance or an aquatic.
Yeah.
So by nose only, and I don't really look for those kind of fragrances. So anytime I would go on any type of fragrance site to find a fragrance, I can't remember what site it was that I used a lot, but they had it where you could, specifically search for a different type of fragrance, whether
Yeah.
it's a citrus
Oh yeah.
based fragrance, an aquatic, or something like that. And I always used to just search for citrus based fragrances.
Yeah.
That's all I would really look for. So my #1 fragrances through high school and college was Acquadigio, Polo Blue, and Happy by Clinique. Like
Oh,
those
I
were my
remember
go-to
Happy.
fragrances.
Yeah.
That's all I used to wear really. Like for a couple years, those I would just consistently buy those fragrances.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I never got into. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever smelled that fragrance before.
Really?
I
No
don't
cool
think
water either?
so. And my reach was a little bit limited. My interest was a little bit limited as far as
Yeah.
the type of fragrance that I like. So once I found something that I really liked, I would actually buy it over and over. I
Oh,
think the first time I kind of stepped out of the aquatic genre was when I got Bora by Liz Claiborne.
oh yeah.
I used to wear that one a lot,
Yeah.
you know. But really, what changed the game for me again, and got me kind of off of the aquatics was there's a very inexpensive fragrance. Um, I don't know if you've heard this before. It's called Cuba.
Yeah, the cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So because it smells like Jean-Paul Gaultier,
Yeah,
the mall. It smells like the mall. So
right.
I used to go into Belk all the time, and I used to get my suits and my bow tie from Belk back in the day. And it was a gentleman that used to wear that fragrance all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, man, this dude smells good. He was an older guy. And I was like, man, what is that you're wearing? And he was carrying it in his pocket. Because, of course, you can fit in your
Long,
pocket.
skinny,
And he
yeah.
pulled out, and then I started wearing that for a long time. So I
Yeah.
threw that to, the repertoire. But yeah, man. So that was kind of like my early stages of my fragrance journey.
Yeah. Isn't
I
that
still
funny
have
how
some
that
stuff.
works though? Because I used to do the same thing like early on. I
Mhm.
would use all of my favorite fragrance and I would go out and buy it every time I emptied out the bottle.
Right,
And now I there are probably 3 or 4 fragrances that I will always repurchase. But aside
right,
from that, if I had it, I had it. And I don't typically repurchase things unless I love it.
right.
Yeah.
So let me, you don't mind, but let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Um, so like, how do you feel about your fragrance collection in general? Like, I buy a lot of fragrances just because I love fragrances, number one, of course. And then this hobby, of course, it can be kind of addictive, like an addicting thing to buy, just something every time something new comes out, you kind of want to purchase it.
Right.
But I start to feel kind of, I don't even know the word that I want to really utilize, but like I'm not really using the stuff because
Wasteful.
of course you can only wear, maybe two at the max, maybe three fragrances a day, just kind of
Absolutely.
depending on, what's happening. So
Right.
it's like I start to feel like, I don't know, it's just like I'm kind of wasting uh some
Money.
good fragrances and money and some good fragrances because I can't get to all of them.
Right.
And it bothers me sometimes. Like, do you feel the same way or?
I did, but you know what? I did probably about 4 or 5 months ago. Like I went through my collection and I dug out everything that I wasn't touching.
Mhm.
And I sold stuff like I sold some stuff just to friends and family. I gave stuff away. I did some bundles on
Right.
Facebook, it was just sitting. And now I'm kind of I think we also spend a lot of our journey like figuring out, oh, I like oud, or you start out, oh, I don't like oud, then you like oud, then you like
Right.
orientals, and you're trying to figure it out. And I finally figured out exactly what it is that I love, and it fluctuates slightly but not a lot. And so I just out of here, I just got rid of it because I
So
was like,
how
huh.
many bottles do you think you got rid of?
I probably got rid of maybe probably like 180 altogether, 180 bottles.
How long ago was that, Miss Monroe?
It was probably about 4, maybe 5 months ago. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was asking because I need to go check my mailbox. I don't think I got anything.
I did. Oh, I didn't ship you anything. Yeah, I mean, I got rid of like I had stuff like had a bunch of Muglers, like angels and every
Yeah.
different kind, like um the Eau Croisière and angel this and angel that. And I wasn't wearing
Right.
stuff and stuff like Marc Jacobs and little designers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm getting rid of this. I think I only had like 2 bundles of niche fragrances. And it was stuff
Hmm.
like I sold Rose Prick, Tom Ford, because I didn't like it, and
Okay.
um Gallagher, Wicked Good, and some fragrances like that. But
Okay.
yeah,
I heard some good things about that one. I've never smelled it though.
Wicked Good.
Yeah. Isn't it a gourmand type scent?
It it's supposed to be. It's not really an extremely gourmand in my
Hmm.
opinion. Yeah, it's not that like chocolatey thing that I was looking for. I couldn't fall in love with it. I felt like I had better gourmands in my collection. Yeah,
Okay.
I got rid of it. But Rose all day will never leave.
You
You
know what?
know,
That's a house that I want to check out. Honestly, I've never owned a Gallagher fragrance.
really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I think I kind of get fixated sometimes. And this is, you have different kinds of fragrance collectors out here. You have some people that just really, they focus on one specific house.
Oh yeah,
And that's like, they don't want to expand their interest to anything outside that one house.
right.
And again, there's other different types of collectors as well. But I'm the type sometimes once I get to a point where I'm buying from a particular house, I like to kind of explore that house,
Right.
see what I really like and want, and then I kind of buy fragrances in that one house. And then I find like I'm kind of focusing on that one house for a period of time. And then once I've gotten the fragrances I feel like I want from that line or that house, then I move on to another one. So
Yeah.
and I've never made my way over to Gallagher,
Yeah, you need to
but
try some of his stuff. I don't think his stuff is extremely pricey. And
right.
I think he has some pretty good stuff. I had pineapple, and I think I sold that as well because I found it to be kind of a little more masculine than I like. So I
Okay.
sold that. But you know what happens to me when I do that though? Um,
Hmm.
let's say for instance, I took a deep dive off into amouage, right?
Right.
And then you start looking for something. There's this thing that you expect from this house, right?
Uh-huh.
And then they drop this release on you that is like nothing like everything previously. I kind of got in the habit of like blind buying from amouage because I'm like, oh yeah, they got everything I need. I know,
Right.
and then they release something and you're like, oh no, you missed it.
It happens, man.
Yeah, I get what I like from houses. I get what I love, and I bounce around between three main houses, maybe possibly four. And that's Amouage, Tom Ford, Killian. I came back home because I had left Killian.
Right.
And Raja.
What's the last one?
Raja.
So we have two in common, definitely. I'm a big fan of Tom Ford stuff
Yeah.
as well as Killian. And that now when you talk about, what's funny about Killian, right? When he talks about, I've heard him talk about his fragrance collection. And that's a word, he used the word addictive, right?
Oh yeah.
And honestly, I think besides Creed, that has been the most addictive fragrance house for me as far as when I got into it. I told you how I explore the house to find out what I liked. And
Right.
so what I would purchase, I had to stop exploring because I think just about everything in Killian's line I like because they perform well on my
Yeah.
skin. And people have different houses that uh, perform well on their skin better than others. And
Okay.
I found that for me, like as far as when we talk about performance, Killian and Bond Number 9 fragrances they just do it for me as far as like performance. And if we want to talk about a design, well, Tom Ford as well. That's why I mentioned that. And also anything pretty much from Mugler, those fragrances perform well on my skin. So, that tends to really draw me to a particular house or a collection when I can find something like that. And I like sexy stuff. You know what I mean?
I do too. Back to Black was my first, actually, it was the first niche fragrance I ever purchased. I didn't
Really?
even know what niche was.
Right.
I was in Vegas and I went, my girlfriends and we went into Saks and
Hmm.
we got some samples. And I don't even think I was buying fragrance from Saks back then at this point in time. And the lady gave me some samples of Back to Black. And I had
Hmm.
never smelled anything like that ever before in my life. I was gone. I
It's
was
it's
like,
definitely
oh,
polarizing. It's different.
yeah. And so I started kind of because I did not like Rolling in Love, All Fresh. I didn't like what's the one? or no, not Rolling in Love all fresh. Love Don't Be Shy all fresh.
Okay.
I did really wasn't feeling that. It wasn't really what I expected. I bought a couple from the Miami Vice line,
Okay.
and the one that I really like is the Moonlight, the Crozier, the Moonlight in the
That's
blue
good.
bottle. That's
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
that's real good.
I like that
But
one.
the other ones didn't do it for me. So I kind of felt like I was like, what are we doing, Killian? Like I need like that back to black thing.
Right.
But so I bought Angel Share and I'm so impressed. Do you have that yet?
No, I don't. And I want it.
Oh,
Um,
and matter of fact, it looks like that glass you were drinking out of. Every
I
time
know,
I
right?
look at that glass, I think about this.
Yeah. He got that idea from me, man.
And what are you sipping on? You didn't even tell us what you're sipping on.
Oh man, it's just some apple juice.
Oh, nothing in
No,
it.
it's got a little something in it. It's
Oh,
called secret sauce. It's called Noop juice.
noob. Too funny.
You know, I'm a Kappa, so that's Noop juice.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, Noop's got to represent.
Well, I'm drinking pomegranate tea, y'all, because I have to make dressing tonight, and I don't want no problems from my husband in the morning because I done got tipsy and messed up the dressing.
Please don't do that.
No, that would be all bad, right?
Yes, it would be. You can't mess up the dressing.
No. So, I was going to ask you, what is your favorite, if you can name one? This is always hard for me when people ask me this question.
Mhm.
What is your favorite fragrance of all time, ever, that you still cover yourself in right now today?
Man, first off, first let me say this. I really think, and this is boring to some extent, but it would have to be between Aventus and Black Phantom by
That's not
Killian.
boring. Those are two.
Well, I mean, most people talk, they folks don't want to hear about Aventus, but you know what my motto is. I don't
People
care.
can hate on Aventus all they want to. And I don't know why people hate on Aventus so bad. It smells freaking amazing.
It does.
Somebody just asked in the comment section what your wife's favorite scent was, and I think I know. Is it Aventus?
Was her personal favorite scent or her favorite scent
Her
on me?
favorite on you, yeah.
You know what? I think it's actually,
Because I know I
you
heard.
know what she really,
Yeah.
honestly, you know what I think she loves on me more than anything else? It's not even a niche fragrance. I think she loves when I wear Terre de Hermes by Hermes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like one of her favorite scents that I wear. Of course, Aventus, she likes that one as well. It would be out of that in Aventus.
Yeah. Because I saw
Yeah.
a video that you did with her and you were talking about how much she really liked Aventus on you.
Loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. But again, that Terre de Hermes gives it a run gives Aventus a run for his money as far as like
Really?
the reaction
Oh yeah.
that she gives when I wear a scent. It would be out of those two.
Yeah. I didn't really have an appreciation for Aventus until the day I wore it. And I got it and I was like, okay, it's nice. Wore it, left the house, 8:00 in the morning, stopped in the store. 3 people were like, what are you wearing? Then I get in the elevator,
Right.
and somebody was in the elevator like, "Ooh, you smell so good." And then this guy, a guy actually knew what I had on. He walked past me, he said, "Why do you smell like Creed Aventus?" And I was like, "Well, that's what I'm wearing today."
Right.
So Aventus
Right.
is nice. It really is.
It is what it is, man. Folks can see. This is my thing. Like I don't, and this is the way that I operate my channel. I'm not going to, when it comes to telling people what really smells good, I'm not going to try to be deep. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. And I'm always going to be 100% truthful and authentic about what works for me.
Absolutely.
And if it's not exciting to people, then it is what it is. But I tell people all the time on my channel, my motto is, at the end of the day, there's one Darian Hill, there's one Bowtie Fragrance Guy. And on anybody's best day, they can only come second place to being me.
Right.
Right. So I don't care if an ex-boyfriend wore the scent. I don't care if there were 100 guys in the same room that wore the same scent. They're not going to wear it like me.
I'm so glad you said that.
Right. So that's never going to deter me from, okay, oh, everybody talks about a vintage, everybody talks about Dior Sauvage. Yeah. They work.
Yeah.
They work. I've had some of the most, memorable reactions from people wearing a vintage, Dior Sauvage, and it just seemed to be fragrances because they get talked about so much because they're so good. Folks tend to say, oh, well, I don't want to hear about that anymore. And then they start to bash the fragrance. Well, I guess you could say it's a victim of his own success, but they work.
They work. They absolutely work. And, I tell people that all the time, like, and for a lot of people, it's about the price. And I try to make people understand, like, everything is not for you,
Right.
So you have to find what's for you.
Right.
This costs what it costs for a reason. So
absolutely,
yeah, I get that. But you know what? It's funny that you said that you don't care if an ex-boyfriend wore it. I did a video about old school fragrances, and I talked about Lagerfeld, and I talked about how the very first time I ever smelled Lagerfeld, it was because a boyfriend back in the day, like 30 years ago, wore it.
He was rocking it.
Section, huh?
He was rocking that fragrance.
Yeah, he wore Lagerfeld, and so people in the comments were like, "Oh, you should be ashamed that you bought something for your husband that your ex used to wear." And I was like, "That was so
don't matter."
And I love it. My husband wants to wear whatever I want to smell. He don't care what it is.
Smart man.
I like it.
Smart guy.
He'll tell you all the time, if she like it, I love it.
There you go. That's how you keep peace in your house.
Right. Now if he thought something smelled bad, I wouldn't, I would be like, well, don't wear it. But
you let him know.
Yeah, I wouldn't make him wear anything that he didn't like,
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. So yeah, two good choices. Black Phantom. Oh, I just can't say enough about Black Phantom. But I'm telling you, I think, because have you even smelled this?
I haven't. So go ahead and give me a quick overview. What am I missing out on?
I say this is what I said, and this is coming from me. I think that this is some of Killian's best work in like the past 3 years or so.
Hold on, Eva.
I'm
you about to start
for me.
You about to start a riot. All right. So hold on a second.
For me.
Hold on.
And now I'm not including those ones that he never releases over here, the ones that are like 900 a bottle,
the exclusives. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking about those, but I'm talking about anything that he has put on the shelf in the past 3 years. Because Black Phantom is about what? Black Phantom is like, maybe, is it 4 years? When did Black Phantom
No, it was, that's why I was about to say you about to start a riot now. Because I think it came out in, it was either late 2017 or early 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, Black Phantom, this.
Okay.
Because I was smelling Back to Black. Back to Black is my day one. And yesterday I was like side by side, and I was like, I don't know.
With Angel Share?
Huh?
You were side by side with Back to Black and Angel Share?
Trying to see which one was sucking me in the most. And I've always gone Back to Black, and I was like, I don't know. Angel Share is nice. And
so what does it smell like?
Huh?
What does it smell like?
It's very gourmand. Extremely gourmand. But the cognac, like, it's got a really nice smooth cognac note.
Right.
But just very, like, someone said it smells like Black Phantom, but it doesn't remind me of Black Phantom.
Okay.
So It's very nice. You have to smell it. You have to.
Well, listen, I will say this: if my account is short $200 tomorrow, it's your fault.
Listen, your account won't be short $200 tomorrow because it is sold out everywhere.
Really?
It is sold out everywhere.
Hey, look, I have a connect though.
Oh, do you?
You know that's a perk of being a reviewer. I got to connect.
Well, hey, I need some good connects. I have some real good ones.
I'll put you on.
And yeah, Dorothy, yes, cinnamon. Cinnamon is very pronounced in here as well.
That's one of my favorite notes.
Oh, just it's very sexy in my opinion. Like just extremely sexy. But
Sounds like my kind of scent. You know.
I think you like Black Phantom, love Back to Black. Do you like Intoxicated?
Love it.
What about Liaisons Dangerous? A lot of people don't talk about that. That's like,
listen, it's so good to me.
Man.
Again, like if you're gonna ask, pretty much if you ask about anything, pretty much with Killian, I probably like it. It is a kind of a, especially for the darker stuff, it's just something about the DNA that draws me in because a lot of them have a gourmand tendency. Right?
Yeah.
And Liaisons Dangerous is so like, to me, it's such a unique scent. I can't remember who I saw somebody talk about that fragrance because I have it. And they talked about it kind of having it kind of smelling like hair shampoo. And I kind of agree with that reference. It was opening a little bit. I can see where they were coming from, but it's so good, man.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's unique.
Fruity, but it's still grown up at the same time.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I love it.
Isn't that the one you told that story about? I don't want to get you in trouble now.
Which one?
You told a story about being somewhere and out and about, and some guy came over and was like, "What are you wearing?"
That was Black Phantom.
Oh, it's Black Phantom?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That the guy was like, I can't even take it. Like, you just smell so good. It don't make sense. Like,
man, listen, it has that effect on people.
Right. Absolutely. So I was gonna ask you about your number one date night scent, but if it was probably gonna be like what, Aventus, or of course it would be your wife's favorite.
You know what? Date night. Let me see. I'm trying to really analyze like when we do go out per se. Special events, I tend to reach for Aventus a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking about just a date night, it's something else. Let me think. What do I normally gravitate towards on a date night? Let's see. You know, I like to wear on a date night. I like to wear oud satin mood a lot.
Oh yeah, that's a good date.
It doesn't get much sexier than that one, you know.
Oh.
Listen, man, have you ever? I'm sure you put your nose in that before, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
What do you think?
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Man, look, I mean, of course, I know you said you don't watch a lot of YouTube stuff, but if you caught some of my videos, I talk about oud satin mood a lot. I talk about that one a lot. It's really, really good.
Yeah. Now, do you like silk? And the silk?
I've never smelled silk
really?
mood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never smelled that one, honestly. No, as a matter of fact, I did because I was in the store and I actually smelled it, but you know, it didn't wow me like oud satin mood did.
Yeah, I think satin is definitely nicer. I think it's that, it's got more weight on it than so to speak. Yeah, but both of them are really nice. But definitely a good date night scent.
Which one?
Satin. Ooh, satin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Can't go wrong with that one.
No. I was looking at your list and your winter list. I think you had just did a video for your winter favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw you had Carlisle on there. I remember that one. I'm trying to remember what else you had on it. I thought I
The niche list.
had took it. Yeah. Your
Uh,
niche winter. I think it was one of your most recent videos.
yeah, I had not Black Phantom. I had Apple Brandy by Killian was number one.
Yeah.
That's beyond good. That's a whole like yeah. That's
And
top
impossible
definitely
to
top three or
find.
four. Huh?
Impossible to find.
It's hard. It was off. I think he started bringing some of the ones that were exclusive, like that one, single. Well, I'm not sure about single malt. That one, Straight to Heaven Extreme.
Yeah.
He brought them back recently, early this year, but they had instead of the traditional presentation, they had a gold cap.
Oh.
So he brought them back. I'm not sure. Once I got mine, I stopped really trying to figure out if they were still in production. So I'm not sure, but he brought it back for a minute. But it's highly sought after.
Yeah.
And I think the only other fragrance in Killian that is more sought after than that one is probably Sacred Wood. And I mean, I know some folks ready to give an arm and a leg to get that one in the collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is so good.
Put that up in fragrance groups, and then like if you refresh the page, it'll be like
it's gone. It's gone that fast.
Carlisle now, like what is the deal with Carlisle? Like I've always known Carlisle was good because I don't know if you ever saw my list of how I ranked the Parfums de Marly men's fragrances. I did Herod, Carlisle, Leighton, and I think Ujan. And Carlisle,
all four of those are great.
Yeah, all of them. Carlisle was definitely my number one, but I guess I don't know what they stopped making it or what, because I've been seeing bottles of it for like $300 and $400, and I'm like, now why is Carlisle so expensive now?
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's being discontinued or what. It's hard to find. Like no, it's sold out everywhere.
I didn't even realize that, honestly. That's one of the Parfums de Marly, that house. I explored it for a while. And before they started coming out with the newest releases, they started with I don't even know what they call it now. Greenlee? No, maybe going back to Sedley.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of explored the house, and I haven't gotten back around to that house yet. So I don't have Sedley. I don't have the Greenlee. What do they call it? Greenlee now?
I think
they changed the name once or twice.
The name from Greenlee, I think. Yeah.
Whatever it's called, the green one. Yeah. So the green one, and then I think they just dropped another one, if I'm not mistaken. So I haven't gotten to those yet.
Yeah.
But so I haven't noticed anything as it relates to Carlisle and its availability, but it's something that I'm definitely interested in finding out because I hadn't heard anything about it being discontinued or anything. So
yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it anymore, or someone came out and said that to sell a lot of bottles, or I don't know.
Maybe. We got a lot of fraud going on in the world nowadays, right?
But you know what? That's that hype train thing, though. Like if the right person says something about a fragrance, the fragrance could be 50 years old.
Right.
White person gets on YouTube and they're like, "Oh my God, this is so good. I love this." It'll be sold out in stores all across America just that fast.
Hey, it's a PR stunt.
Right. Yeah, but Carlisle is very nice. So what would you say is the best thing you have smelled in 2020? Hands down. Because 2020 has been kind of jive as far as.
Yeah, it has. I mean, I think there's certainly things that contribute to that, but
absolutely.
What have I smelled this year has been like the best, one of the best things?
Don't even have to be a new release, just something you smelled for the first time.
Let me think.
I'll tell you mine while you think about it.
Yeah, what's yours?
Cairo.
Is that Penhaligon's?
Yeah. Cairo, and second to Cairo would be One Umbrella for Two. But this, when I smelled this, I almost cried.
What is it? Describe it. What's it like?
Have you ever smelled Calumet Black?
What's the name of it?
Calumet Black.
No,
It's
I
the
haven't.
House of Arabian Oud. So it's
No.
oud, but it's really sweet oud fragrance. Just
Mhm.
it kind of reminds me of Calumet Black, but it's a lot nicer than Calumet Black, I think.
So is this a dark scent that you had? That is Cairo a dark scent or
It really is. This is not for people who don't like other people to smell them or who
right?
like heavy fragrances.
Oh, it's gonna reach out and touch you, huh?
And Cairo does not have a listed oud note, though. Let me be clear about that. It doesn't have a listed oud note, but
Hmm.
I just, it's really nice. Maybe I need to make you a sample pack.
I would appreciate it. We can swap sample packs.
Yes, we'll do that. I'll send you some stuff. You send me some
Let's
stuff.
make it happen.
Yes, absolutely. You got to smell Cairo. Absolutely.
I think I have my answer now.
Okay, go ahead.
As a matter of fact, what's crazy is the fragrance is actually on the way.
Uh-oh.
It is a Bond number 9 scent, and it's called Lafayette Street.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Have you ever smelled that one?
I smelled it. Because it's black, the black snake
Yeah, it's a
bottle.
black bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. When it very first got released, did I miss something?
Listen, I, listen. Okay, listen. I think Chad, from A Gentleman's Journey, he sent me some samples. Um, I have about maybe 15 or 16 Bond number 9 fragrances. So uh, probably about half of the samples that he sent me, I have the fragrance already.
Uh-huh.
But there were maybe 3 in there I had never smelled, which was Coney Island, Lafayette Street, and what was the other one? Governor's Island.
Oh, yeah.
And when I smelled Lafayette Street, I was done.
I need to go back then.
Please check it out, man.
I need to. You know what I bought
Please check it out.
yesterday?
What's that?
Yesterday I bought Tribeca.
I'm trying to remember because I went to Bond number 9 store recently in Miami, and I tried to put my nose on everything I had never smelled because I'm a big fan of the house. And I'm trying to remember. I think I did smell that one.
In the white bottle. All
Yes,
white.
I did smell
Big
that,
bottle, yeah.
and that was one that I noted that was worth getting. I think Tribeca. There's one, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's SIDI, CD. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. But that's also in a black bottle.
Yeah.
That one's really good.
CD, yeah.
But Lafayette Street was the best one.
I'm now you got me curious because when that very first got released, I smelled that and I was like, oh, I don't need it.
Oh,
Because
I mean, fragrance is one of those things, we you may have somebody that you have a lot of similarities to as far as your taste in fragrances, but then there's that those outliers where, you may smell it and not really be a fan of it. And that's just how it works. But for me and what I like to smell, because to me, what it was one of those scents where there's a fresh aspect to it, but it just has a very nice, sweet undertone that comes from vanilla and some musk.
Yeah.
And, just like the Mugler brand always uses patchouli in a lot of their fragrances. I think Bond does a good job with the note of musk.
Musk, yeah, absolutely.
So the musk, vanilla, slightly fresh and fruity open is just something about the combination that, I let the wife smell it. We had 2 other friends with us when we went to the Bond number 9 store. They smelled a lot of fragrances in that store, but everybody went crazy about Lafayette Street.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to go back and smell it. Do you
revisit that? Huh?
Do you like Perfumista Avenue?
I've never smelled that one. That's in the pink bottle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll be quite honest. That might have been a deterrent factor.
Don't let it be.
Deterrent factor. It was a pink bottle. I was like, there's a small part of me that that sometimes things like that kind of deter me when it's like a pink bottle.
And the name, like, what are you wearing, Perfumista?
Yeah. But I'm sure for a female, it's probably really good.
It's very nice. I know a lot of guys that like it too. A lot of guys like it. Really nice rose. I don't know if are you into rose?
Love, that's one of my favorite notes. Rose, sandalwood, cinnamon, and probably, what am I missing that I love? Rose, sandalwood, cinnamon, and I mean, pretty much all the gourmand notes though. I mean, I love stuff when it has honey and
Me
coffee.
too.
Love that stuff. But, you know, those are probably some of my favorite notes. So definitely.
I'm gonna have to send you some roasted coffee, cigarettes, and whiskey. Come and get your suede, honey baby. That's the name of the
What is that a fragrance name?
Yes, it's the name. It's by Strangers.
Really?
Yeah. It's the strangest, nicest fragrance I have smelled in a long time. It's crazy. It's weird. You can smell everything in it. You can smell the whiskey, you can smell the honey. There's like popcorn in it. It's
Oh
just
my goodness.
you have to smell. You just have to smell it.
That's an interesting combination of notes.
Really interesting combination.
What's it called again?
It's called Roasted Coffee, Cigarettes, and Whiskey. Come and get your suede, honey baby.
Now, is that a movie?
I said, when I talked about it in the video, I said, why does it sound like something that Honey Boo Boo and Mama June came up with?
That's what comes to my mind. I mean, that sounds like a movie right there.
I know.
I don't know.
Hilarious. A crazy name.
Yes.
So, I was going to ask you, we were going to talk about this thing that sometimes gets a lot of smoke when I talk about it. So I wanted to hear it from a gentleman's point of view. And it's a connection between fragrances and appearance, fashion, right? Because I think I was telling you earlier that I had posted in a group one time something about, you know, if you're going to spend $400 and $500 on a bottle of fragrance,
right.
Check your shoes, make sure make sure everything matches. And every time I say something about that, even if I talk about it in YouTube, I did a video about 10 things reviewers do that drive me crazy.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, so people got mad about that because they were like, just because I'm sitting up here in a wrinkled shirt doesn't mean that I can't wear expensive fragrances. And I was like, it doesn't mean that, but it's just kind of like, to me, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think, would I want to look presentable before I smell presentable, or
right?
But I think they both like go.
Well, that's my theory. I mean, people get uptight about most of the time anything when it comes to something that has to do with spending money, right?
Oh, yeah,
so while fragrances, it costs money to acquire fragrances, quite naturally, it costs money to buy clothing. But I think sometimes people mix the message up, because it's not necessarily that somebody's saying because you want to smell nice, you have to go out and spend $1,000 on a suit.
No.
But you can go to the Goodwill.
I tell people to do that.
And you can find nice stuff that may be secondhand, but it's about the effort to look presentable. And one of the models that I believe in is that you cannot sell a dream looking like a nightmare. Man, right? So again, if I'm going to smell good, right?
Say that again. Say that louder. Say it again for the people in the back.
You cannot sell a dream looking like a nightmare. Wow. So if I'm going to be on a platform and I'm going to talk about I smell good, right? If I'm not, and again, I'm not talking about spending a lot of money to look nice. But if I'm going to be talking on a platform like this, where there's an opportunity really for anybody in the world to see me,
to see you,
right? I just believe that it's appropriate to be the best version of myself. And you don't have to dress like me. You don't have to wear a suit jacket or a suit. That's just my swag. That's how I do it.
Right.
You don't have to wear that. But again, if you're going to wear a t-shirt, I would hope that if you're talking about smelling good, it's clean.
It's ironed.
And that at least it's ironed.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that's a lot to ask, because you know, they go hand in hand. Looking good and smelling great. You know, that's what I talk about on the channel, right?
Right.
Look good, smell amazing.
Yeah.
And that's all it is, man. I just think it's appropriate to do that. So
I agree. 100%. I'm glad to hear that, from someone else's point of view, because like I said, sometimes people get uptight about that. And I'm like,
right.
no, like you don't have to have money to have a neat appearance. It
Absolutely.
doesn't take a lot of money. Like you said, go to the Goodwill. If you're gonna spend hours trolling on Swap looking for the cheapest bottle of Zerjoff you can find,
Right.
spend 30 minutes at the Goodwill looking through the suits, right?
Right.
Or looking through the dresses, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But think about it this way, Eva. Like, okay, and I'm just going to use this because this is my guy. But let's take Big Beer for instance, right? Big Beer Business.
Right.
He and I have a totally different presentation of what we wear when we do a video.
Oh, totally different. Yeah.
But guess what? But even though he wears a t-shirt and he wears hats, for the most part, when he comes on and does a video, his beard is nicely trimmed. His t-shirt is ironed,
Right.
or without wrinkles.
Yeah.
So it's just about, again, this looks like somebody I can still take fragrance advice from. Although he's not wearing a suit, he looks like he cares about his appearance. So I think that's the point.
Yeah.
So you still, in my mind, it would just be hard for me, right? There's also another saying that I would never let a naked man sell me clothes, because what can he tell me about clothes if he doesn't wear clothes?
Exactly.
So if and again, people, I hope nobody takes this the wrong way, but if somebody looks dirty, that's like the opposite of smelling good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, let's just make sure these things line up. Somebody can be on this platform. You can go buy a pack of t-shirts from Walmart, the fresh white ones, right? And if it's got too many wrinkles in it, throw a quick iron on it. Yeah. But if it doesn't have wrinkles, just throw it on. But as long as that t-shirt is clean and you look like you've combed your hair, boom, I can listen to you because it looks like you care about your appearance. Absolutely. And I think that's the whole point.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I always say it's like if I was going to a hairdresser to get my hair done,
right,
and she told me I can grow your hair, I can snatch it, I can do that, and then I walked in and her hair was like all over her head, it hadn't been combed in weeks, I'm just gonna turn around and walk out the door.
Like, you have to put the church finger up.
Yeah, excuse me. I'll be back.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you cannot do my hair.
You have to say, oh, you know what? Oh, I'll be right. I think I left my wallet in the car. I'll be right back.
Yes. No. I don't know why people don't understand that and why they get so uptight about that. I think when you do this sometimes, especially a lot of people, some people do this, they want to get paid for it. They want to, make good money at it. They want to get good sponsorships or good brand deals or whatever. Brands ain't checking for you when you look like you just rolled out of bed on Saturday morning.
They're not.
They're not, because they need somebody who can represent them well. So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's important on so many different levels. I just wish people wouldn't get so offended whenever I talk about that, because people are like, well, hey, everybody ain't got money. I'm like, I have been broker than broke at broke, and you couldn't look at me and tell.
Hey, but you know what? People always say you should never look like what you're going through.
No, never.
You should never look like what you're going through, because ultimately, even if you have some not so great things going on in your life, it's doing something small like presenting yourself well can make you feel better.
Absolutely.
I know a guy that talked about he was unemployed for so long, qualified for jobs, qualified from a standpoint of education, background, and the whole nine. And there was just a season of his life where he could not get employment, because sometimes God just takes you through things and, it's a test. But even during that time, he said he got up every day and he put on a suit like he was going to work en route to looking for a job. And just putting on a suit just made him feel better about the negativity or the negative or not so good circumstances that he was in. So, you know, we have certain things in life we don't have control over. But things like our appearance is something that we have total control over. And there's something small that you can do to make yourself feel better about your situation or your circumstances sometimes. So it's actually something relatively small, but it's a very powerful thing.
It is. I was working a job. We had this was years ago. They gave us 2 button-up shirts. You got a blue one, a white one, and a polo shirt. And that was it. You could wear it. You had to wear black slacks. So every day I came to work, my polo or either my button-up shirt would cut you. It would be starched and pressed.
Right.
And people would always say, "Where are you going? You got an interview? Where are you going?" I say,
"Right,
the hell out of here. I ain't staying here forever. I'm dressing for where I'm getting ready to go. Y'all dress for where y'all want to be.
There you go. Right.
Makeup, hair done. They be like, "Where are you going?"
Look, man, I think your appearance says a lot about quite naturally your what you think about yourself.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And before you ever say a word, that's the only thing that people have to go on is your appearance. And we know the old adage, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So why not make that the best impression that it can be? Because you never know who you may run into.
Right.
On a given day. So I think it's just something that people have to that people should take some pride in.
Absolutely.
Again, you don't have to step out the house like this all the time, but hey,
Yeah, you ain't gonna look like that. You don't wear a bow tie every day.
Absolutely not.
But even when you don't have on a bow tie, like you said, the clothes need to be clean. And another thing, like I don't like to play the race card, but that for us, it's more important, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Like we don't get the same pass that other people.
Oh yeah.
So it's really important for us. But,
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on that. So tell us what's on your radar to buy, even though you just bought
Lafayette Street.
Or Lafayette Street, Sutton. I want to say Sutton.
Angel Share definitely is on my list.
Yeah, you got
I've been going back and forth about going ahead and pulling the trigger on that.
I'm sitting here now like, oh my God.
What?
Jumping all up in the air.
Oh, really?
From when I sprayed it on my hand earlier. Yeah.
I need to get that. But that's definitely on my radar. What else? Honestly, that's like the primary thing that I have on my radar at the moment. I mean, I could always just pull up my phone and something else would jump on my radar. But that's probably the primary thing that I'm interested in getting. I was really, focus on Lafayette Street for a minute. I'm like, I went to Miami like 2 weeks ago, and I think I had the decant from Chad maybe it's been about a month now. So that's something that I've been kind of going back and forth in my mind about when should I go ahead and pull the trigger on it. But that and then Angel Share is probably the next thing I'll get. And after that, I don't know, because I even though sometimes new things come out, if I'm not a fan of it, I don't really feel the need. I like a lot of the releases last year were not good to me, especially the ones I was conscious of, the designer stuff.
Right.
So a lot of things came out last year that was just I was not interested in. I'm not going to buy it just to review it, because that's some people, I know some folks out there in the world think that fragrance reviewers get everything for free, but that's the farthest thing from the truth. We spend a lot of our hard-earned money on fragrances. So, it's not, to me, the most intelligent thing just to go buy up everything and just say you have it. And I'm not going to buy something, review it, and return it to the store. That's not my swag. So,
I think that's a mistake that people make, like probably in the beginning of their review
Right.
career or whatever you want to call it, just thinking that you have to review everything that's coming out, because sometimes, a lot of times, the viewers will be like, hey, I'm waiting on your review on the new what's his name, Mark Jacobs, or and I'll be thinking to myself, I ain't buying that. Buying that to review. But a lot of people do. They just, to keep the content steady and to keep it flowing, will go out and buy everything. And early in your YouTube career,
Right.
you're not making any money. You're really not.
No, not at all.
Paid. Yeah. So yeah. It, that's what makes it hard in the beginning, especially for some people. That's why some people do it, and they do it for like a year or maybe 6 months, and then all of a sudden you don't see them no more.
Right.
They like bottles, they get expensive. Fragrances.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
But I've always been, that was never like my lane, to run and buy all the brand new fragrances. That's never been something I've done.
Yeah.
If I had a chance to put my nose on it, or if I read a note breakdown, and because I mean, at a certain point, you kind of have an idea of what you'll probably like.
Oh yeah.
Based on notes. If I see something that has cinnamon, honey, and coffee in it, oh yeah, I'm gonna probably go ahead and check that out, because I know just based on my taste, I'll probably like it. But again, like some of this other stuff that people just run out and buy because it's new and they want to be the first to review it. Well, there's channels out there where people do that, and so I mean, it is what it is. But that's never been something that I've done. So
yeah. It's expensive, and I'm telling you, you get in them groups, and I remember when I first got in fragrance groups, and I didn't know anything about how, most people who are into this and who have been into this for a while don't pay retail.
Right.
I didn't know that until someone told me. And I would see people, because I would never say anything, when I first got in the group. I would just watch, and I would see people posting all these Zerjoffs and these Rojas, and I'm like, wow, these people must be filthy rich. Like, what is going on? And then I started talking to people in the group, and this one guy told me, I bought something and I paid retail for it. And he messaged me, he said, how much did you pay for that? And I told him, and he said, Queen, never pay retail.
Never.
Stop paying retail.
Right.
Like, oh, okay. So I like the experience of going to Saks pre-COVID and smelling and touching and leaving with my little bag with the ribbon and the bow tied around it. There's nothing like
that's
that.
a part of it.
But that's not all the time that I'm
No, I mean, you have to, I think everybody has that, well, most people, I would say, have that desire to want to experience that from time to time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because it's just, I don't know, man, it just, sometimes it feels good to be able to walk into a place and it's something that you want to, and be able to have that immediate gratification of having it at that moment
in your hand.
Right.
You have to check.
Right. But again, it's just not always the easiest thing to actually be able to do, especially nowadays, like you said, with the what we're experiencing in the world with the pandemic. Yeah. It's just hard to do that now, but there are times I just want that experience. So I'll know, hey, I might be able to get this $50 cheaper online, but I want to spend the extra $50 for this experience right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do that. So.
Oh, and you brought up Big Beer Business. I meant to tell you, could you pass a message to him for me? Because I know y'all friends.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sitting over here like chopped liver. Why didn't I get any samples? I was like, well, wait a minute. They didn't send me any samples.
Yeah, look, I'll holler at him. He's a cool guy, man. Like,
yeah.
We've had some conversations, and he's a cool guy. Shares some stuff with me. I think he got into reviewing a little bit before I did. Like maybe a couple months, maybe a year, couple months before I did. But like I said, that was it. Like during that time frame, the community was so different, man. But yeah, he's a cool guy. But I'll make sure I let him know that the Eva Monroe wanted to know where her samples were.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Hey, so because we have similar tastes to some extent, Swore Exclusive and Exalt Nui, you're gonna love them.
Really?
Oh yeah, man.
Or now are the bottles out yet or
Oh, absolutely.
oh okay. You
Yeah, I
said
did
see them. Which one? What's the other one?
Exalt Nui. As a matter of fact, if you have not seen that video, I did it was kind of a second impression because I don't know if you saw, we did the initial
Yeah,
first impressions when he sent the samples. And
right.
then when I got 3 bottles in, I did a review on it, or kind of a second impression. This is more of a second impressions. I didn't do like in-depth reviews on them,
Mm-hmm.
but I actually introduced a new family member on that video. His name is Lil Beard Business. So you might want to go check that video out. It was interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lil Beard Business. Go check it
Look
out.
here. I'm gonna go look for that because now I'm curious.
You have to.
All right. Well, what's anything new and exciting coming up on your channel? You guys remember, I'm gonna link his channel when we get off of this live. I'm gonna link it in the description box below. But it's Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I saw someone ask in the comment section, a few people. So tell us what's coming up, what's new and exciting and
Well, I'm gonna be kind of uh, bringing in some new content that'll be more along the lines of men's lifestyle. Um, you know, I think that the whole idea when I started my channel, I wanted to talk about men's fragrance and give style tips. And of course, the channel has been primarily fragrance related content. So I'm starting to branch out a little bit more into integrating some of the men's lifestyle content into my into the rotation, because I just think that, just like we kind of talked about appearance and things of that nature, I want to, what I do know, and I'm not saying I'm like a fashion consultant or anything like that, but I do, I read a lot, like my book back here, Dressing the Man. I read a lot, so there's things that I know. There's other uh, men's lifestyle influencers that I know and that I follow. So I have some knowledge that I want to share with guys, because I think there are certain things that kind of go hand in hand. That's why I always say look good, smell amazing. So whatever advice I have that I can lend to ladies, gentlemen, whoever that follows my channel, I want to be able to do that, because I believe that's important to be the best version of yourself every day.
yeah, you should share that. Totally.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing more content related to that kind of stuff, and I'm working on a few things, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff, so I'm going to have some very exciting things coming over the next couple months.
All right. Well, y'all make sure y'all go over, subscribe to Bowtie Fragrance Guy's channel. You ain't gonna be over there talking about women badly, are you, or anything like that?
I would never do that.
Okay, good.
Never that.
What? All right, so this has been so much fun. I'm so glad we finally got the chance to do this.
I know, right?
This for a while, so yeah, this was a lot of fun. Let me see if some people have some questions in the chat room for you before we get out of here. Silencer. Patricia said y'all need to do this on a regular basis.
I agree.
Yeah, we should. I'm loving this conversation. My son laughing at the church finger. So do you guys have any questions you would like to ask before we get out of here?
Any questions?
Shergy. I don't know if you want to answer this one.
What is it?
What's his thoughts on the Meg Toe movement? You,
The
he's
what?
married. He doesn't have any.
What is that?
Men going their own way.
I need a little bit more background.
Oh, you're gonna
I'm in
have
the
to
dark.
look this stuff up. Uh, yeah, look it up on on YouTube. It's a whole movement. You know, the part of this whole red pill situation that's going on out here. But it's just the men that are sick of women's mess and they're going their own way. So,
Okay,
but you
so
obviously are not sick of women's mess because you have a wife.
right.
Also,
Well,
that's
what
another.
way what way are they going? Which way are they going?
Listen, that's what I said when someone told me what that meant. They said it's men going their own way. I said, well, where are they going?
Right.
Are they coming back? I mean, where are they going, to a deserted island? I don't know. I don't know
Well,
where to.
listen, as long as they use GPS and get there most efficiently, I guess it's okay.
Right. But you should you know what I think? You should look it up, see what they're talking about. But I think you would actually have some great advice and things like that to offer to some of these young men
Mhm.
about looking well, smelling well, living
Right.
well, how to treat women, because you actually have a wife.
Right.
So that would be amazing. There's a lot of
There's a
guys
certain there's
that
a
do.
certain way to go about that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of the channels, you know, the guys aren't married, and I'm like, well, you know, how are these guys taking so much life advice and advice about how to get women and how to be happy, and these guys don't even have a wife? I mean, I'm not saying that you can't be happy if you don't have a
Right.
wife, but you know what I mean.
Well,
So,
I think that, anytime you can, give advice from both perspectives is good.
right.
Because of course, at some point in your life, you were single.
Well,
And then once you
absolutely.
become married, now you have perspective on both sides.
Right. But we
So you
need the
can talk
married man version.
intelligently from both perspectives. So I
Right.
think there's some very helpful and wholesome information there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the gentlemen want to hear the married men's version of it. Uh Creed, Love in Black. Does your wife? Oh, I meant to ask you this: is your wife into fragrances? Does she have a large collection?
Well, my collection is her collection.
Oh,
So yeah, so
that's good.
she naturally by nature doesn't really buy a lot of fragrances, especially now since I have so many. I think I have certain things that come in, and then she just kind of takes a liking to certain things and kind of starts to those become her scents. She had like a few that she would wear prior to me really getting into fragrances as deep as
Yeah.
I am into them now. But like for instance, she loves New York Oud by Bond Number Nine. That's one of her favorites. She loves Lyric Man
Mm-hmm.
from Amouage. And I got a fragrance from Frederick Mall. I think it's called Outrageous. It's a really nice, fresh citrus-based fragrance, but it like has 2 hours of performance. So it's like,
Oh,
but
I've
she
never
loves
heard.
that. She throws that on all the time. She knocked out like half the bottle in like 3 weeks. So she loves to throw that one on because it's like, what else does she love? She loves things that are rose based.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's kind of a commonality that we have. We both love rose based fragrances. So those are some of her favorites. But she just wears stuff out of my collection.
Well, that's good that you guys actually can share a collection. My husband and I are fragrance beefing right now. Um,
Really? What's going on?
my husband, when I met him, he owned Polo Green Bottle, right?
Old
And
school.
old school. And I hate it. I can't stand it. But now he has gone off of the deep end. And so he wants everything. You know, he wants to have everything. And it's like you cannot have two people, but he wants his own stuff. Because see, my
Right.
philosophy is this right here, like Lost Cherry. It's upstairs in his case. But if I want to wear it, I just go up there and get it and
Yeah,
wear it.
just wear it. Yeah,
He wants to have
absolutely.
his own stuff. He's like, I don't want to come in there and touch your stuff. I don't want you coming in here touching my stuff.
That may be a guy thing. That may be a guy thing because she doesn't mind just it's in the house. So I mean, she just goes in and does
Yeah,
what she wants to do.
it's in,
As a, it's funny that you mentioned Lost Cherry because that's actually what she bought me for my birthday.
oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I had my, I smelled it. I wanted to get it, but I wasn't like, over the top where I gotta have it right now. But that's how we kind of came to the decision when we were in the store. I
Yeah.
think I was looking at that and the old school Beau de Jour, and she was like, "Oh, I like that one better," so I went with that one.
Yeah.
You know?
I love Lost Cherry, but really took a liking to it. So I was like, okay, that's yours. But if I want to wear it, I'll just go up there and get it. So then I just got myself a decant when he wasn't home and just filled the
you
decant.
you snuck
But
a decan in there?
yeah. But I'm like, can you imagine two people in one house, having no, we can't do that. Both of us cannot have this many fragrances. I was like, if you want to wear something that I have,
Yeah.
wear it. If I want to wear something you have, wear it. But both of us cannot have this many fragrances. That's crazy.
Well, look, man, you just add to the collection, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Then it becomes a problem. Then it's a lot of money. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's one thing people talk about that a lot. Fragrances can be an expensive hobby, but I can't listen. Listen, I'm always dropping knowledge on my channel. I'm always giving the guys like these tips. Sometimes it expands outside of just wearing a fragrance. I told them, listen, when you can buy, I did a list about unisex fragrances, right? When you can buy a fragrance that she enjoys as well, if you have a significant other, or in your case, if that he enjoys as well, hey, it's a win-win situation,
Oh, yeah.
you know?
You know,
Because like if it's something that you both can wear, even because sometimes the person that doesn't buy fragrances as much, sometimes they're like, you got another box out there. Another package came for you today. But
yeah.
I'm like, oh well, I bought this for us.
Oh,
This is for us. This isn't just for me.
yeah.
I'm not that selfish of a person.
And honestly, that's like probably 80% of my collection. I
Yeah,
really have a lot of like specific female, like really feminine fragrances because that's
right.
not really what I wear. He could just about pull off anything that I have in here.
Yeah,
Probably not Poison Girl or anything like that, but for the most part, he could probably wear anything I have in here. So, but yeah, that's a good idea. I do that sometimes because I get so much stuff in the mail. People are sending me stuff constantly.
hmm
And I know sometimes he feels some type of way about it. So I'm like, oh, I got this today. You want to smell it here? You can
right.
smell it. And so then sometimes it's a battle of, oh, I'm keeping that. And I'm like, no, you're not. Going down. The things that I have a collection of, I like to keep the collection together as a family.
Right.
Like, well, we can't break up the family here. Now I'll just keep
Oh,
it
let's
down
keep
in
it. Let's keep it together now.
my area. Yeah. Can't break up the family. I saw someone had um Killian Musk Oud. Someone said, let's hear about Killian Musk Oud. Do you have that one, Darian?
That's one of the ones I've never smelled. Look, I don't really. I was afraid of those two words together, musk and oud. I'm like, I don't know about that. So I never put my nose on that one.
Someone said supposedly Tom Ford Private Blend is getting discontinued by 2022. And then someone said the same thing with Raja, especially his high end line. Um,
I never heard that.
Now, you know what the sales rep did tell me about Killian when I was in Saks the other day?
hmm
I was looking at the boxes and I was like, why do his boxes look so skinny now? So there will be no more of the
The
black
corporates.
boxes. Yeah, no more coffrets.
hmm
Um, no more. The boxes are like this thin now that
Is
his
it?
fragrances come in. Those boxes you have back there, no more of those. That's all his
Yeah.
fragrances are going to come in now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they come in these. This was, matter of fact, you see what this was? This was apple brandy.
Yeah. And they're
And
all going to be $240 as well. Anything
yeah.
that's sold in a department store,
Mm-hmm.
aside except refills, because refills are $195, I think.
Yes.
But all the bottles are going to be $240.
Yep.
Yeah.
You start with the conference. I did.
Yeah.
I'm in the Killian group. That is a group. I forgot to mention that I'm in on Facebook.
Oh, I think I'm in there too. I never go in there though.
Come on, Eva.
Yeah, I know. I'm in Raja's too, and I went in there one day and I found out that he was like dropping like really good deals and stuff for people in the group. I was like, I need to at least come in here once a week.
Look,
So,
that's one house that if you can find a deal, you need to take it.
absolutely. Heck yeah. That's actually the only house that has ever sent me like a box of fragrances.
Yeah, but you mean when they did the was it a Parfum Cologne collection?
Mm-mm. I got musk oud.
Uh-huh.
Or not, yeah, I got musk oud, 51, elixir.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
Huh?
I want to be like you when I grow up.
I was completely shocked by that one. They emailed me and were like, yeah, well, we saw your video. We want to send you some.
Uh-oh, I think the internet actually. Hold on. I'm still connected. Ash, come here, babe. Can you put me some more drink and apple juice in there? I disconnected. I gotta reconnect. Yeah. Put me some drink and apple juice in there. That's fine. How I disconnect?
So I think you froze up, but I think it ended the live. Did it end the live or no?
Hold on. Well, I'm back.
Yeah, I see you. But okay, it says it's streaming live on YouTube, but I don't know what happened. It just like kicked it off suddenly. So
I have no idea.
yeah, that was
Hold
weird.
on a second. That was my internet is janky, man. It's not that, but it's I have, it's a lot of folks in here that use it. So
Yeah.
she actually said it's still going.
Yeah, it just hopped right back where it left off. All right. Okay. So we'll go on ahead and end before we
No, we're back.
Can you see us on the?
Yeah, it's still going strong.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my son just said your live is still on. Okay. All right. All right. So we'll go on ahead and get out of here. And we thank everybody for tuning in and watching tonight. Darian, Bowtie Fragrance Guy, thank you so much. This has been fun.
Thank you for having me, man.
Tom.
Thank you for having me. It's funny, like I'm looking at it on here, we're still on there.
Yeah, I see it now. It just popped back up on my thing.
That's weird.
I know, it's crazy. But I'm sure that YouTube and Zoom both are going to be extremely exhausted over the next 2 days.
Why do you say that?
With Thanksgiving and, people not being able to travel and.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be a lot of Zoom calling going on. So, all right, everyone, we will see you guys. Good night. I will link Bowtie's channel information in the description box below. Until we see you again, be blessed and bye for now.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Don't hang up. I'm going to just hit end.
Okay.
I don't think it'll take you away.